Hello and welcome to the Music Scout Podcast with myself, Lewis Fisher, and welcome to the third episode of the Great Escape interviews. And thank you all very much for sticking around for the first two episodes, on to episode 3 as well. Today we have Archie Faulks being interviewed at the Great Escape today. We sat outside a pub, which was very nice. We wanted to try and find a nice little quiet spot, which in turn sometimes was not too quiet, but it was only a bit of traffic passing by, which majority of the time wasn't actually that bad. So apart from that, it was a great little spot. We just hung out, I think it was the Eagle, I believe it was, down near Sydney Street, if anyone knows Brighton. A lovely little pub, I've been in there a few times myself, and we just sat outside, glorious sunshine as well, and just had a nice chat with Archie, lovely bloke as well, and he's got some really good music, and you'll hear one of his tracks in a minute. He released an album last year, which was Tenderhook Songs, and that's got some quality songs on it. As well as that, he released a small EP called Wonderful, and that was at the beginning of this year. As well as that, the single Wonderful, which you will hear soon, and then you'll hear another song from the Wonderful EP right after I'm done talking to you guys. So as well as this episode, we've had 2 more as well, and we've also had Ruth from Holy Moly and the Crackers talking about the awareness of disabled artists and the new survey that got put out that needs to have a bit more respect and also a bit more help towards disabled artists. It was a really interesting interview, so do go and check that out if you have not done so already. And as well as that, we spoke to the up-and-coming artist Freddie Long as well, talking about all of his influences, which are pretty crazy to be fair. As well as that, talking about all of his new material that's coming out the rest of this year, his excitement to play The Great Escape, some specific artists he wants to see, and as well as that, he's also looking onto the song that he collaborated with Ben last year, which is all about male suicide, which is something that always needs to be brought up. So thank you all for joining me. I hope you do enjoy the Archie Faulks interview. This is part 3 of 7, so you've still got another 4 to go, you lucky people. Next week we will be speaking to Oland, a amazing woman who we sat on the beach actually to chat to her. That was really good fun. There was the Beach End dive bar site, and we just sat on the beach, looked out into the ocean. It was lovely, just seeing the pier to our right hand side in the basking sun. It was the same day I had the interview with Archie, and it was glorious actually, really nice. So look forward to that one. Loads to talk about with Oland as well, absolutely loads. Hopefully I can tell you a bit more about my adventures with Oland and just the gig in itself next week, so you can look forward to that. But for now, enjoy the interview with Archie Faulks, and you're going to hear the song Blackout now from his Wonderful EP, and then after the interview you're going to hear the single Wonderful from the Wonderful EP that came out this year. Do enjoy folks, and I will speak to you soon. Ta-ra!
I'd like to be wherever you are. I hate this distance. Guess I'll keep loving you from afar with your nation's assistance. It's taken me a couple years to realize. Now it's happening like a chain reaction. It's your face when all the lights around me die. So I'll kill them all, 'cause when I black out, I'm with you. When I black out, I'm with you. In the night and in my daydreams too. Yeah, there really isn't anything that I'd rather do than black out. I felt it coming in my car when we drove to Scotland. Now I'm thinking about driving very far, just in case you'd forgotten. It's taken me a couple years to realize. Now it's happening like a chain reaction. It's your face when all the lights around me die. So I'll kill them all, 'cause when I black out, I'm with you. 'Cause when I black out, I'm alone with you. In the night and in my daydreams too. 'Cause right now there isn't anything that I'd rather do than black out, than black out, than black out with you. So look at me in hysterics. It's so near the truth I can't bear it. I'll be someone to you. 'Cause right now there isn't anything that I'd rather do than black out.
So thanks for taking the time to come out and chat to me. So you've just come off the train. So we're sitting in a pub outside in the lovely sunshine. And thanks for coming out. So obviously you're playing at the Unitarian Church tonight. It's quite a big win for you to playing a church. See, I noticed on your Instagram you play quite a lot of churches too. Sort of master of playing churches. Is that a favourite venue of yours?
You know, I feel when Christ is on your side, everything's going to be all right. Yeah, so I stick to this sort of spiritual, holy venue choice. And again, my prayers were answered, and I landed another church.
Amazing.
No, the acoustics are always just awesome in churches. And I played in a band with my band in a church a couple of years ago, and it was never play with a snare drum in a church and an overactive drummer. All you can hear is snare drum. Christ didn't like that, I can tell you.
Literally ringing in his ears still.
Yeah, I hope so. Ruined the show. My insults to him afterwards are still ringing in his ears.
So have you got a band for tonight's gig, or is it?
No, tonight I'm just on my own.
Solo acoustic. That sounds good.
Yeah.
And then you've obviously got your album, Tender Hook Songs, came out last year.
Yeah.
And obviously fabulous record. Really enjoyed listening to it. Thought it was a wicked record.
Thanks very much.
And how long did you work on this album for? Did it come to you quite quickly, quite naturally, or was it a little bit of development for your debut album?
So yeah, those songs were, I guess the first song I released when I was like 19, so 5 years ago.
Yeah. And
that was when I was playing under a different name, playing under the name Tender Hook. And so over the space of like 3 years, we were releasing those songs, and it came together as a compilation of all of those. So yeah, I guess those were the songs that I wrote between 17 and 22. Now I've recorded my first proper full-length album, which hopefully will come at the end of this year. It's sort of a coming-of-age album, stripping away the bullshit, just telling it how it is.
So what's going to be different from this current album from last year to the album for later on in the year then?
I think that when you're young, it's easy to hide from your own truth, and you can just make music for the sake of making music, and I think that was a part of it. And I loved music and loved doing it, but I didn't know how much of my personality was invested in it. And now with this album, I wrote all the tracks on my own, and they're all parts of my life and all chapters, I guess. So it's it's definitely more of a personal record. But,
okay. So you're going to be essentially telling a story from start to finish.
In a weird order, but yeah, I guess so. You don't want 4 ballads at the beginning of a record, so I didn't want to tell the sad start of it. But it's a hopeful album, I think that, naturally, I think being a musician, you have a lot of ups and downs, and I'm a very, emotional person as it is, and I love a heartfelt, soppy ballad, but equally as much I like to, rock out a little bit. So, yeah, it tells a story of me, but not necessarily in a linear order, I guess.
So would you rather write a ballad, or if you had to choose between a rock song or a ballad, which one would you go for?
I'm better at writing ballads. Okay. I think I'd probably choose to write a rock song, but I'm not rock and roll enough to do that, unfortunately.
So if you had the challenge of writing a rock song, then where would the influences come from? Are you more rock and roll, Springsteen with Chuck Berry side? Are you more of a grunge rock side?
Yeah, I guess songwriting wise, I love the Led Zeppelin and the Stones, but like krautrock, like German, like Can and Neu, like that kind of like bit more dreamy, ethereal, but with the, you know, crunchy guitars and strange synths. But yeah, I mean, I like Springsteen. I like a lot of it. So heavy, Dead Meadow. You know, I like some fat riffs as well. But then again, I'm talking to this now. If anyone actually listens to our music, they're like, what the hell is he talking about? You sound more like fucking James Taylor. But
So I think we can express some sort of like krautrock album.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming, man. I'm just learning my German now. And, yeah.
So maybe in a few years, once you've got the whole German
Yeah,
German
I think I need to grow a little moustache, start wearing more leather, get a German Shepherd. Then.
Get some braces as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, naturally.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So this album is led by your acoustic playing, and do you find yourself writing the songs through the song of sort of like melody of your guitar, or lyrics first? What sort of comes first in most of your songwriting?
Totally depends, man. I think that's it's. I'd say probably melody and guitar, but then I think some of the best songs I had was like, you know, you're overwhelmed by something in your own life. It's like, I need to write about this. So like you're going in with the total sense of it, and then, you know, you just sing a word and like, okay, that's the start of the song. So I guess there's no real rhyme or reason, but when I'm struggling to write, I would just sit there for hours just playing guitar and singing. So that's the kind of consistency of it. But you spend that time so that you can have those moments where it all just comes and flows out of you. So
if you're say you're having writer's block, are you the person to just sit down and keep going until you get something, or do you go away for a week or two and relax and just not touch anything?
I'm bad at that, man. If I'm having a writer's block, generally I'm not a good person to be around. You know, it's my daily meditation therapy to just sit and play guitar. So yeah, I'm lucky I don't have to. It's different having a writer's block and then being unable to finish songs. You know, there's a part where you're having ideas, but it's like, oh, well, the next idea could be better. You know, as part of my daily routine is to play guitar and sing. It's how I wind down. So yeah, I will always just keep knocking my head against the wall until I smash through, pretty much.
So songs like London Heart are one of my favourites on the album. And it's such a lovely blend of the string section, and these songs are quite difficult to get right. Do you think it's quite difficult to get that tone so soft on that record? Is it quite a difficult process? Or
yeah, I mean, it's if you're doing something that is kind of, you know, very, you know, emotionally charged, you want to get that balance right with it all. But I was very lucky. I was working with a guy called Ant Lung, who's got a real special touch for bringing that emotion out and blending the strings together, and the strings are obviously so beautiful and you want them on music like that. So yeah, I guess it is hard, but I was just, it didn't seem hard at the time. It seemed very natural, that whole song and that process. And I had a friend of mine who was at the Royal College of Music, and he brought his friends along, so it was like mates in a studio just like weeping and playing on violins and violas, and it was a good time.
Beautiful process.
yeah, no, truly.
Is that similar to what's going to happen with this new album then? Is that building from all those experiences?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, after that I was like, strings are a real focal point of what I buy into in music and love. And then Elliot, the producer who produced this new record, he works closely with a guy called Tom Hobden, who's in Knowing the Whale, and they have a project called Petra Alexander, which is string and piano. So Tom did the arrangements of the strings and them together. So yeah, strings always will play a big part, and on this new album there's plenty of them. And yeah, I think that why would you not do it?
Exactly. Yeah. So when you went into the studio with this debut album, did you change anything on your first day from when you stepped into the studio? You had all your songs when you stepped into the studio on the first day. How much different did it sound when you came out and you were ready and finished and ready to go with them?
Yeah, some songs really come to life in the studio. A song called It Rains I put out, which was the first song they put out of this project. I always liked it, but then when we got into the studio, it became the kind of song that it did. We were both very excited about it, and we were, running from instrument to instrument, putting stuff down. And I think other songs, you can come in thinking they're really strong, and then you start recording them. And I think because maybe there's that initial expectation over a song, you're like, oh, well, is that right? And you can second guess the parts and stuff. So, it's not like the songs drastically changed. I think Elliot came in and he's a brilliant musician. He's far better than I am, so I sort of, with a lot of things, especially piano, he's a brilliant piano player. I said, you do what you got to do on this, and then I'd come and make comments afterwards, and then we sort of would come together over percussion and stuff. So, we wanted to make something that was grand but a little bit held back. The kind of British reserve, but still romantic. So
it's trying to make it as romantic as possible. Is that the aim? Or
I think that that's just what gets me going, man. Like, I'm a romantic by nature, so soppy bastard, cheesy as fuck. But
And then you mentioned that you were running around playing different instruments. Did you play a multitude of instruments then?
Yeah, so it was just me and Elliot played every instrument on it apart from the strings.
Oh, wow, okay.
So what I learnt music on was a clarinet, so there's a clarinet on every track. Played a bit of piano, but Elliot's a better pianist than me, but there's a bit of that on there. Banjo, we've even got sitar on one song, but it's like really bedded. Right. We might as well not have sitar, it's like bedded in there, no one can really tell.
That's really cool, actually. So was that the aim then for this previous record? So you said it was from about 5 years that you've been building up all these songs. Did you want to wait until you were comfortable in playing those instruments before you went into the studio to produce them on the records? Yeah.
I'm not really, to be honest, man. It was more sort of like a timing thing. Yeah, okay. I was just sort of like, I was writing all the time, and it got to the stage where I thought I had the songs, and I was ready to come out and play gigs again, because I took a kind of 2-3 year hiatus from playing shows, stuff where I was doing other things, and I just missed it. And I say hiatus, I was writing the whole time, but I was working and studying. So yeah, it was good to come back, and it was just the time for it. It was ready. The album was ready, so we came in, and I say confidence. I'm still not very confident on it, but on playing on my own music, because I'm a self-taught musician. Like, I never had lessons or anything. I was a self-taught songwriter. Okay. So, when you have people like Elliot, who's, oh yeah, if you have that and you get the G, the flat 13th, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It just sounds nice, man. Let's just fill that in. So yeah, but I get the two things can work well together. Come out with heart. He comes out with heart, but also a bit more brain, and you need both, heart and the head.
No, I completely agree with you. I'm a drummer myself, so
nice. Yeah.
When people talk about G flat 30, I'm like, sounds great.
yeah. Let's not go too in depth.
So let's have a chat about the new single then. Wonderful is the track came out last month.
Yeah.
I think it's a lovely mellow song. It's really, really different to what is put out on your album to what you've done now. Yes. And was it the intentional direction you wanted to take after releasing your previous album?
It would be nice if I could tell you that I have a very conscious idea of where I wanted to take things and my artistic vision of it all, but in reality I just pick up the guitar and I feel how I'm feeling now, and I play, and then it comes out and I write the song. And I think that's actually how the best music is written, is not thinking too much, and it being this kind of natural flow of emotion. And so I had all these songs, and then we were like, well, okay, what songs do you want to put out next? I was like, Wonderful, When I Play It Live, gets a great connection. I really love that song. So that was the next thing, and I don't think that I put that much thought into it. It was just that was the next thing.
So that's going to be played tonight then, I assume?
Yeah, I'll be on the list. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. And what is the song about then? Give us a bit of background on the single.
It was about somewhat a relationship that I had whereby I didn't really see this girl for very long, but then it was this kind of will they, won't they thing. That's kind of died, but nonetheless, I sort of took that idea to in this grand worldview of this, like a longing for, it's like they call it heraith, or like saudade in Welsh, or Brazilian or Portuguese, and it's like the melancholy associated with the inevitable passing of time. And this idea that things will never be what they once were, and that's very sad, but I'm not trying to reclaim that past. It's just like the sliding doors. Things didn't go that way. We lived different lives. And that's fine, but you can still be sad about that. So I guess that, we can take refuge in the past because it's safe and it's not. And if you're dissatisfied with the present, like, oh, okay, that was great. What if that happened now? And then actually, when you're rational mind, you're like, thank God that didn't happen. That wouldn't have worked. So yeah, I guess that's the sort of scholarly answer to that question.
Which is why it marries with such a lovely melody as well. Sort of captures that emotion really, really well in terms of the melody. And there's nothing too brash on that single as well. It's got light drums in the background, got strings and piano. Was that the intention of the song from the office, that you wanted it really really quiet as such, so not anything too harsh.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I almost wanted it to sound like it was people in a room just sitting around playing it.
Okay,
Like I didn't
yeah.
want it to make this grand, because I think we could have easily really like milked that song and got like, quartets and big bells and stuff, and like
Massive choir.
yeah, exactly, the heavenly choir singing in. And I think at one point I was like, we should get heavenly choir, but like, I was like, no. So yeah, keep it super simple and straight back. I thought was the best way. Yeah.
So have you got any more releases for the year then?
So yeah, I'm gonna put out another single next month, which is called What For, and I'm super excited about that one. It's a little bit more sexy, a little more swagger to it, and then hopefully the record will come out September time, November time. But again, don't hold me to that, because I don't know. I really don't know. Music industry being the way it is, but it's there. It's sitting in my Dropbox for perusal.
The masters are all finished then?
No, actually, the masters aren't finished.
Oh,
We're mastering single by single. The mixes are
great,
finished.
okay. So
It's cheaper that way. I don't know. Probably not, actually. It was definitely not.
So you're playing at the Unitarian Church tonight, 8:30. Obviously, it's currently about midday-ish, 12:30. What are you going to do in your spare time before the gig?
Just cruise around, listen to a few bands, eat some fish and chips, fight off some seagulls. Never trust seagulls, man.
No, never trust
them.
them.
They got quite an angry face.
Yeah, they do,
I'm quite a bird lover, but see, I never can relate to a seagull. No, it's probably because I'm from the inland. Two different beasts.
What bird do you most resonate with then?
Well, whether I resonate with it or not, but I've always had a real thing for owls.
Okay, yeah.
I'm from London, but there was a time when, I was in repertoire. I thought the stuff was shit, and every night I would hear this owl call me, and I just took it as my spirit guide. But I flipped between the spirit animals. But there was one point with an owl. But I like a robin. They're kind of, they think they're cute and all nice. A robin at the end of the garden, they're actually quite gutsy animals. They fight you off if you're on their territory, and solitary. Don't migrate. They just stick in England. So yeah, I like a robin.
I think if you go nearer towards, if you ever go to Oxford Way, there's loads and loads of red kites around that way. So they're incredible.
They're your favourite bird?
Yeah.
Red kite, they're nice.
They're everywhere around sort of where I am in the Cotswolds and there. So it's definitely one of my favourites. But a good shout with the owl though. Have you got a tattoo of the owl at all? Or?
I don't. I was thinking of getting a tattoo of a whale.
A whale?
I'm bored you to death with this, but because apparently you get a free tattoo at Great Escape if you're playing. Someone told me this last week. Yeah, I don't know if it's a free massage and a free tattoo.
Free massage and a free tattoo. Amazing.
Yeah, apparently so. So yeah, I'm gonna get a whale tattoo, or maybe an owl. Well, I'll decide. I'll have a few drinks and decide.
Go there as well.
Well, yeah, I got some there, so I thought.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
okay,
match them up.
It.
Yeah.
And then go get a massage before the gig as well. Relax.
Yeah, before the gig. Yeah, I don't want to be too loosey goosey. Yeah, we'll split it half. 5-minute massage.
So speaking of tours, you did a tour with Issac Gracie as well, which is for me a bit of a shock because I'm a big fan of his album. Debut album's insane.
Yeah, it's wicked.
I think it was my number 2 record of the year last year.
Awesome.
Insane work from him. How did that come about then? How did you get on tour with him?
Well, I've known Isaac since we were like 8 years old. We used to sing in a choir together when we were that age. So then we were like best mates at that age. I didn't see him for like 6-7 years, and then he was starting to put some songs together, and he sent me Last Words, the demo of it, and I was like,
really? Wow.
I remember sitting on a bus like super stoned and crying my eyes out. I was like, this song, like this is fucking amazing. And finally, he actually, when I was doing Tentic, he supported me on a couple of my shows, and then obviously, like blew up for him, and he repaid the favour. Well, I mean, it was a far better favour that he gave to me than I gave to him, but nonetheless. So like, he's still one of my best mates. We go boxing together.
Great tunes.
Yeah, bangers.
Go boxing together.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. He's got a good what's that one? Hook.
So yeah.
No,
right.
it's good
right hook.
Yeah,
so body punch as well.
Yeah, it goes low on the bag. Yeah, we just do it on the bag, man. We haven't sparred each other yet. I'd have him. I'll be definitely in a different weight category to him. That'd be the issue.
So, how was the tour then? How many dates were you doing with him?
I think we did. It was 5 shows in Europe. Yeah, it was great fun. It was just me, him, the tour manager, and sound guy cruising around in the van. getting up to mischief. Not that much mischief, actually. I would have liked a bit more mischief.
So, are you two looking to do any collaborations at some point? I think that'd be insane for you.
I mean, that would be cool. Yeah, I mean, we jam together a lot. I don't know. I'll
say collaboration.
Yeah,
Cool. And then I've got one more question for you. So, any more tour dates coming up other than the Wood Festival in Oxfordshire that I saw on the website?
There are some things that I wish I could say, but they haven't been fully confirmed yet, so I can't say.
Okay.
Yeah, there's stuff going down. It's all very exciting, man. And
I want to try and book out Spain in the summer.
Book out Spain.
Yeah.
Ibiza.
Oh yeah, can we go Spain in summer? That'd be great.
Just fucking residency at Ibiza, San Sebastian. Acoustic guitars. It's the way forward, man. Ravers don't like house music anymore. They like sad folk music.
Yeah.
There's a changing tide.
And then maybe just have like a DJ behind you afterwards, and then
no DJ.
No DJ.
No.
Just you.
Just me. And then I'll just go hit my guitar, and then rhythm.
Make a drop as well.
Yeah, you can do all sorts. You've got enough pedals.
Well, thanks very much for joining me. It was
Thank
a real
you, mate.
pleasure to speak to you. And all the best for the new album and also the releases for later on this year.
Legend. Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Falling back out on a Monday night, all don't seem right. Caught up on past responsibility with you in my life. There's always a get out clause, and if it feels right, you know I will be always yours. There's some kind of wonderful whenever you need. Yeah, it feels like a sunny day when everything's clear. Some kind of wonderful here. Took all of the turnstiles in a different plane. You're everything I tell myself as I'm losing faith. What a wonderful waste we are. Words are your slave, but you're giving them so much meaning. I'm yours to the grave. If everything else falls through the ceiling, I know it sounds harsh, but I think you feel exactly the same way. I'll be the backup plan until the world gives us any other way. Don't wanna force it. I don't wanna put you through that again. There's some kind of wonderful whenever you need. Yeah, it feels like a sunny day when everything's clear. Some kind of wonderful here. Took all of the turnstiles in a different place. You're everything I tell myself as I'm losing faith. Some kind of wonderful here. Oh, don't let it disappear. It's so wonderful. It's so